Hey, what up guys, it's Stickman here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to unlock all of the Xbox 360 avatar awards for Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 2, and turn your avatar into modern Dr. Eggman. Now, in case you're wondering, Sonic 4 Episode 2 is actually backwards compatible, meaning you can play it on an Xbox 360, an Xbox One, or an Xbox Series S or X. And when I'm making this video, it's still available for purchase on the Xbox Marketplace. So let's get into it by talking about the easier of the two avatar awards to unlock, that being Dr. Eggman's Modern Costume legs. In order to get these, you just have to defeat the Sylvania Castle Zone boss without taking any damage. One more thing I wanted to mention, there are actually 4 avatar awards. 2 of the awards are distinct and meant for your avatar's gender, while the other 2 awards are going to be variants for if you wanted to pick another avatar gender. So when the level starts, you can choose to either grab the rings or ignore them. It really doesn't matter, since at the end of the day, our goal is to avoid getting hit anyways. So after Eggman makes a reference to Aquatic Ruins boss fight for the sake of nostalgia and then immediately yeets it out of there, get ready for the fight. Now the real fight itself is actually very simple. You just have to deal 9 hits of damage to Eggman by aiming at his cockpit. Simply homing attack his Eggmobile and then make sure you're dodging those tentacles. If you jump, get your homing reticle to show up and then hit Eggman fast enough, the tentacles won't even drop down on you mid-animation. One very useful tip that I can give you guys is if you jump and then hit the X button in midair, you can actually get Tails to fly you closer to his cockpit so that you can easily hit him a lot faster. Just remember that while you're flying his Tails, make sure you're flying a little far away from the tentacles so that you don't accidentally get smacked. After you get 3 hits in, Eggman's going to bring out 2 more tentacles, so be careful. The tentacles themselves do a really good job at warning you of where they're going to land, so just make sure that you're paying attention to the direction they're facing and get out the way as quick as possible. What I ended up doing for the rest of this gameplay is waiting for the tentacles to slam down, jump, get Tails to fly me over to Eggman, wait for his Eggmobile to be exposed, and then hit him. After 7 hits, Eggman will go sicko mode and start charging up for the final phase of the fight. He's going to start firing a laser in a circle, so just make sure you watch out for where he's going to first start the laser, and then on the other side, jump, get Tails to fly you over to his Eggmobile, and then hit him. And then once you repeat that one more time, you'll be done with the boss fight, and Avatar Award 1 will be unlocked. One last thing that I wanted to mention about this award is, since I already completed it the normal way, I'm not sure if it would have worked if you were to play a Supersonic and take damage. But I did make a tutorial on how to unlock Supersonic that's posted on my channel, so you guys can check that out, play a Supersonic, and let me know in the comments below whether or not you still get the award after completing it. Now let's get into the final of the 2 awards, that being Dr. Eggman's Modern Costume Body. You unlock this by defeating the final boss without taking any damage. Now this fight's going to be very difficult since it is the final boss of the game, and you're probably going to end up dying many times before you finally get it. So to speed up the process, might as well just press X so that you can do the Sonic and Tails roll attack and get to him as quickly as possible. In case you guys haven't beaten this boss yet, let me give you guys a quick rundown. So you're essentially stuck in the air in an arena with 3 concentric rings that surround Eggman, who's in a heart-shaped mech that you can only damage once you hit his cockpit. If you try to hit him underneath, like directly underneath, you're going to get electrified by electricity. Your goal is to jump through all the rings to get to the center to hit Eggman. And that is actually a lot easier said than done, because depending on what phase of the boss fight you're in, this can be very difficult. Sometimes the entire ring will spark up with electricity. Other times only specific segments of the ring, like every other segment, will be electrified, making it very difficult to maneuver. Sometimes parts or segments of the rings will just explode for no reason, and that can be difficult to get through. Sometimes specific segments of the rings will actually alternate between which one of the two gets electrified or not within the middle of a phase, and that can be very disorienting. It really all depends. Getting the first hit is really easy since there's going to be no electricity on any of the rings. All you have to do is just keep running until you get to the center ring and then hit Eggman's cockpit, and you get your first hit in. Sometimes when you get to the centermost ring, you're going to be directly underneath his head, so just jump in the air and then get Tails to fly you up, and then using Tails as tails, you can actually damage Eggman as well, so keep that in mind. Eggman's going to rotate you and Tails around for a bit and then drop you back in the outermost ring. Since you've only got one hit in so far, Eggman's going to take it a little easy on you at first, and make sure that only parts of the rings that are very spread out are going to be electrified. So they should be very easy to jump over or fly over using Tails. Using Tails, fly through the innermost rings very carefully in between the gaps of the electricity so that you don't get electrified, and make sure that whenever you get into an innermost ring, you're always keeping enough space between you and the ring right in the middle. And now Eggman's going to shake up the arena a bit. Since you've now got 2 hits in, Eggman's going to make this a little bit more difficult for you by making sure that segments of the rings alternate between which ones get electricity and which ones don't. Carefully analyze these segments because they telegraph ahead of time when they're going to electrocute you. So at first, they spark up for a bit for at least 3 seconds, and during that time, you're actually safe to stand on them. But after 3 seconds, it will begin to electrocute you, so be very careful. When you get 3 hits in, Eggman's going to start getting more aggressive by making sure multiple segments are all lit up with electricity at all times. Once again, just make sure you're using Tails to carefully navigate through the maze of electricity, and make sure that there's enough space between your ring and the innermost ring so that you don't get electrified when they start to close in on each other. Once you've done enough damage to Eggman, he's going to start blowing up segments of the rings. Make your way over to the innermost ring as fast as possible because Eggman's going to start charging up a black hole attack. And if Eggman begins that black hole attack, you're essentially going to take an unavoidable hit. When you get to the center, you're going to notice that Eggman actually has a shield up. So you're going to want to use Sonic and Tails to use their combined spin dash attack to take out the shield and then hit his cockpit before another shield can regenerate. Now repeat the exact same process again for your next hit. Getting the final hit in is going to be the most difficult part of this entire run, so listen to me very carefully. What you're going to want to do is make your way over to the innermost ring and make sure you watch out because you're going to notice that each segment is going to be alternating between having electricity and not having electricity. So what you're going to want to do is land on a segment that doesn't have electricity, wait until the segments beside you stop generating electricity, stand on top of them, Use Sonic and Tails' spin dash attack once Eggman's bubble shield is close enough so that when they jump up in the air doing the spin dash attack, they're actually going to break that shield. Then immediately uncurl by pressing X again and hitting his cockpit, and that should be the final hit. And yeah, that is it. There's your second Avatar Award. Now once again, because I already got the Avatar Award, I couldn't test whether or not playing as Super Sonic would actually still get you the award, so definitely try that because this is a lot more challenging than the first boss fight, and if that works, then this is going to be a whole lot easier than everything that I just explained. It's going to take a lot of practice for you to really anticipate where all the rings are going to be headed, when electricity is going to kill you and when it won't, how you're going to land on top of places that stop generating electricity, etc., etc. But I promise if you watch this guide over and over again, you will figure it out and you will get the Avatar Awards. And I really hope you guys do because this game has pretty cool Avatar Awards. I mean, check it out. My avatar is now Modern Dr. Eggman, and I think that's pretty cool. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know if you want to see more guides like this. But that's all from me. Peace.